Hey there, Morgan here from Crafting a Lovely Life, and today I'm going to show you how to make these beautiful Mother's Day shaker cards using your Cricut and cardstock. This project is perfect for beginners, so if you've never made shaker cards with your Cricut before, then this is a great tutorial to start with. I can't wait to show you how to make these cards, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is open up a new project in Cricut Design Space. Then we are going to upload our card SVG design. You can grab the card designs I'm using today on my website, which I will link in the description below. I'm going to open the daisy flower card first. Everything is already sized correctly for this design, so once the design is uploaded, you can just click Make It. You should have 3 mats, and then you can click Continue to select your material types. For the purple and white layers, we are going to be using cardstock. I am using a 65-pound cardstock, so I'm going to select light cardstock as my material type. For the cardstock layers, we will be using the light grip mat. So we can go ahead and place the white cardstock on the mat and then use a brayer tool to make sure the paper is stuck down well. Then we can load the mat and start cutting. When the Cricut is done cutting, you can unload the mat. Then flip the mat over and gently peel the mat from the paper so you don't curl the paper. Next, we will cut the purple layer. So place the purple cardstock on the light grip mat and use the brayer tool again. Then load the mat and start cutting. Unload the mat and remove the paper from it. Be super careful when you remove the cardstock so you don't tear any of the thinner letters on the card. Then you can use your fingers to carefully remove any of the excess cardstock pieces. Now we are ready to cut our plastic acetate sheet. So back in Design Space, we will need to change the material type to acetate. This is a thicker material, so you will want to use the standard or strong grip mat for it. Then use the brayer tool to make sure it is really stuck down. Now you can load the mat and start cutting. Unload the mat and remove the acetate sheet from it. Make sure you remove any protective film on the acetate sheet before you adhere it to the card. Now we are ready to cut all of the layers for the next card. So back in Design Space, I will open up a new project again and upload the butterfly card SVG design. Again, this project is already sized correctly, so you can just select Make It and then continue to select the material type. Just like the last card, we will have 2 mats that are cardstock and 1 mat that is the acetate material type. Place the acetate sheet on the strong grip mat, load it, and start cutting. Then repeat this process with the cardstock on the light grip mat until all of the layers have been cut. To assemble the cards, we will first fold the white cardstock in half and then crease the center. Then set that piece aside so we can assemble the front shaker part of the card. First, we will get the acetate sheet adhered to the back of the front part of our card. Again, make sure you have removed any film on the plastic. I'm going to use this double-sided adhesive tape all around the edges of my card. The tape I have is a little wider than the edges, so I'm going to also fold the tape over on itself so that none of the tape sticks out over the side. Then we can place the acetate sheet on top of the tape. Next, we are going to apply adhesive foam all around the edges. I'm using this foam mounting tape for this part. I will link all of the products I'm using for this project in the description below. This mounting tape is too wide for the edges of this card, so I'm going to cut each piece into 3 skinny strips to place along the edges of the card. I first did this with scissors but got impatient and decided to cut the tape strips with my rotary cutter instead, which was much faster. Once you have the strips cut thin enough, you can place them onto the edges of the card. I recommend waiting to remove the paper on the tape until after you have poured in the sequins so it doesn't get stuck to the tape. For the sequins, I decided to mix together lots of spring colors for this first card. I would recommend using a little bit less sequins than I used here. You will see on the next card I used quite a bit less, and I think it made the design on the front a bit easier to read. Once you pour in the sequins, you can take off the paper on the tape and then place the white cardstock on top of the tape. Make sure you tape the front onto the correct side of the white cardstock so it opens properly. I love how this card turned out. I think it's super pretty and perfect for Mother's Day. For the next card, we are going to repeat the same steps we did for the first card. So we will fold the white cardstock in half and crease the center. Then apply the double-sided adhesive tape all around the outside edges of the back of the purple part of the card. I'm going to fold over the excess again so that none of the tape is visible from the front of the card. Now place down the acetate sheet with the film removed. For this card, I also used a couple of small glue dots on the front to keep some of the pieces of the letters down. Next, we will cut more strips of the foam mounting tape and place them all around the edges of the card. For this card, I went with fewer colors and less sequins and really like how it looks this way. Once you pour in the sequins, you can remove the paper on the foam tape and then stick on the white part of the card. I absolutely love how this card turned out too. This project was so much fun and I can't wait to give these cards out for Mother's Day this year. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and get a chance to make your own Mother's Day shaker cards with your Cricut. Don't forget to grab the designs I used today on my website listed in the description below. Be sure to subscribe below so you can follow along each week as I share new crafty projects. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!